We're going to finish this lesson tomorrow. This is section 2.5a. This is the first A section that we've had all year. We will have probably one A section out of each chapter, but it's like an excursion section. Typically the homework assignment is way shorter. Like look, 4 through 32 by 4s. Like that's not a lot, right? That's not a big homework assignment, okay? But it's an excursion section, which is just like a baby step bigger than what we did yesterday, right? This is inequalities, but they are absolute value inequalities, okay? So we're meshing the two together. Absolute values. Do you remember absolute values? We have to do like two cases. Inequalities mean you are like have less than, greater than, that stuff, okay? All right, so just to review, we have the intersection method and we have the x-intercept method. We have been usually using the x-intercept method, where you move all onto one side and you have like less than 0 and you type this into your y1 and then you figure out where he is lower than the x-axis or above the x-axis. We just been doing problems like that, okay? The intersection method, I on the test am not going to make you do an intersection method and a y-intercept method. You can choose. We so far have been doing just the x-intercept method, so if you're fine with that, I'm just going to keep going with that, okay? If you're used to doing that way. So here's how this works, okay? They did example 1. This is what their diagram looked like for the intersection method. This is the method that I don't like, okay? And I'm going to show you how we're going to change it to the method that we do like. So we have this going on here. They left this absolute value as their y1. They left this guy as their y2. And they graphed it to look like this. And then they're figuring out like these two places are where they're crossing. Those are like my critical values and blah, blah, blah. Okay? I don't typically like to do the intersection method. Let's switch it. Okay? So if I move this 11x over here, this is the most important thing. If you move the 11x over, he does not go inside of the absolute value. Do you understand that? Yeah. Okay, so he will literally stay x to the 4th plus 2x squared minus x plus 2, close, minus 11x, and we're seeing when he is less than 0. So we're trying to look where he's below the x-axis. So I'm going to draw a new picture. I'm going to graph this thing. We're going to see what we've got and go from there, okay? So practice typing this in, especially finding the absolute value on your calculator. Do you remember where he's located?
F2.
What?
F2.
You're crazy.
I'm not crazy.
I don't put him in F2. I don't know where he's at.
He's in F2.
Y1. I go math. Oh, this is going so slow. Jalen, it's all your fault.
Yeah, who's hogging all the bandwidth?
Jalen is. Okay. I go to math over to NUM. You have to hit the over button, and ABS is the first one. You hit enter, and there he gives you the absolute value. Yeah? Math over, and then the first option. Math over to NUM, first option. All right, x to the 4th plus 2x squared. Oh, this is taking forever.
Also, do you remember the
Squared.
summation things? You remember
Minus.
what to get to? That you can just
I don't care. I don't care.
Luke, we don't care.
We don't care. You can tell me later.
It would be really nice if one of these days you just say
Minus, I have to click it like 100 times. 11x. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to make sure my window's negative 10 to 10, which it is not. Gosh, dang it. I have to hit each button like twice because I'm screen recording. Okay, negative 10 to 10, negative 10 to 10. Do it and see what we get. Negative. Dang it. Negative 10 to 10. No. Come on. Just go. There we go. 10. Okay, graph. Haha. Okay, finally. We have a graph. And the graph looks like... Great. The graph looks something like this. Like that. There's what it looks like. Okay? Something of that nature, right? So we need to figure out where this is, and we need to figure out what this is, where they're crossing, right? Okay? So if we zoom, is that on 0? No? What is it?
0.172.
0.172. Okay? What's the other one? You guys can zoom faster than me.
2.5, call it. 2.6, call it. 2.6.
eyeballing it.
I don't like eyeballs.
1.928.
1.928. Okay, great. Okay, so now we just do it like normal, right? We are trying to figure out where he is less than 0. So we have 3 options. Is it on this side of 1.72, on this side of 1.92, or is it in the middle?
In the middle.
In the middle. Is he less than 0? He's below 0 at in between those two. So how do I represent in between those two? 0.172, comma. 1.92 brackets or parens?
Bracket. No, parens.
Just less than, so parens. Yes? That's all. Okay? Good? This one is using the x-intercept method, okay? So again, I like to put the 3 over to the one side, which is what they did. They did that, okay? But that 3 cannot go inside of there, so it literally looks like this. Minus 3 is greater than 0, okay? And that's what he looks like, yeah? Okay, so they've graphed that and they did this. Yes? Okay, now there's one little weird thing about this, all right? This point right here, somebody have this zoomed in. Like, does somebody want to type that in and find these places for me? Would ya? Would ya? What? Yeah, give me a calculator so that I can not have to do it on my thing. Okay, y equals, clear. I'm going to do alpha y equals enter, and the top is like x plus 4, and the bottom is x minus 2 and minus 3. What? Okay, window. Graph. Okay, the first one is at this left place. Is at, we'll say, I gotta zoom one more time. We'll say at 0.505. I don't know, it might be 0.5 exactly. 0.505, we'll go. Okay, 0.505. Zoom out. No, zoom out. The right spot. Un momento, por favor. Oh man, this takes a while. The right spot is at five. Exactly. I think this is 1/2. We'll just go 0.5 on that one. I think that's actually at 1/2 exactly. So 0.5. 0.5 and 5. Okay, now here's the deal. We are wanting to know when he is greater than 0. Greater than 0 means above the x-axis. Okay? So is he above the x-axis from here to here?
No.
From here to here? Or from here to here?
No.
No, in the middle.
In the middle. So we go
0.5 to 5.
from 0.5 to 5. Okay, and we are brackets or parens? Parens, right? Except there's one other thing that's happening here. Okay? He is not touching every place from 0.5 to 5 because there is a vertical asymptote right there. Okay? Do you know where the vertical asymptote is located at?
To the corner.
No. At 2, right? Where the bottom is 0, like we can't, friends don't let friends divide by 0. This gives me a vertical asymptote. If I set x minus 2 equal to 0, x equals 2. That's where my va is located. So I'm going to say that he lives anywhere between 0.5 and 5, except
2. What did you do?
x cannot be 2. So you have to also identify in here where there's a vertical asymptote. When do vertical asymptotes occur? When you have fractions like this. Okay, and it's always where the bottom is equal to 0. Okay.
You also write that using like the U thing.
You can. Yes, yes. So they probably will write it as 0.5 to 2 union 2 to 5. I don't care how you write it. Either way works, right? So they did like the 2 separate chunks. Okay, good?
Yep.
All right. That was 2 problems. Woo, we got done. All right. Goodbye, Jalen.